Hello and welcome to Video DNA, where the English is bad and the tutorials are good. I'm Yohan Tabib, and today I'm gonna walk you through green screen replacement in cars. So throughout the season, we have a lot of shots and you need to do it quick and you need to do it fast. So today I'm gonna walk you through step by step how to do this and how to do it fast once you've done the first one. So first of all, I'm gonna take the main shot. I'm gonna place it inside a comp. And this is the basic shot. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pre-compose it and call it plate 1. And in the end, you'll understand why naming is so important and why nesting everything inside of compositions is really, really important for fast flow and fast work. And the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the background layer, which is this one, and I'm gonna call this BG1. I'm gonna place it below. And just to be sure, I'm gonna create a new layer. It's gonna be a guide layer, and this is for the color. For the reference colors, it's gonna be easy for me to see more or less what's the color guy is gonna see. So I'm gonna take the plate layer. What I'm gonna do, I know there is a lot of movement in the scene. So the base thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna track the scene. So I'm gonna use it for the background layer, for the alpha layer, for a lot of layers. So I'm gonna start with Mocha AE. And the regular stuff, you see me do it a lot of times. And I'm just gonna scan the scene to see where are the best places to place the track. So he's moving a lot, so I'm not gonna place the track in this area, but all around it are a lot of really sturdy points. So I'm just gonna create points over this area, maybe over here. And I don't want to create some elaborate tracking. I just want a general tracking of the shot. So I'm going to remove the skew and I'm just going to track the translations, the position, rotation, and scale. So his hand is out of the way, which is good. And the track is pretty good. I'm not even going to look at the surface. Just going to save and close it. And I'm going to create a new solid. I'm going to call it tracking data. And I'm going to place a grid. You don't have to. I like it. On the actual layer, and then I'm gonna create the track data, move to transform, and apply it on the tracking data layer. So now I can see that it moves exactly as the scene, which is a good thing. And now let's create the key layer. So I'm gonna duplicate this layer, and I'm gonna delete the Mocha effect from it, pre-compose it, and call it key. I'm going to go inside and I'm going to duplicate this layer again, and I'm going to call it alpha. And I'm going to go inside a composition. I'm going to pre-compose it again and call it no noise. And this is not a must-have step, because I like to remove the noise from the plate layer where the green is, because I know if I reduce the noise, it will look better as an alpha. But if you don't have like a 4K to 6K, you only have like an HD video, this step is not necessary, but it's a good thing to reduce the noise. So I have a plugin that does this, but you can do this with any denoiser that you have, free or paid, doesn't really matter. So I'm gonna go inside, and I'm gonna call the reduce noise effect, which is by Neat Video, and it's not as expensive, but it's not that cheap. I think it's like $150, and every cent is amazing. I really spend a lot of time using it when I'm doing green screens. So I'm gonna make sure the resolution was not good enough, so I'm gonna make sure the resolution is on full. I'm gonna press the prepare button, and I'm gonna press the auto profile and it's gonna find itself the best place to understand what the noise is. And I'm just gonna press apply and that's it. I'm gonna show you before and after. So this will help Keylight to make a better job. So it's a bit heavy to render, or not heavy to render, but it slows down the renders. So if you want to create a pre-render for this, that's okay. I'm gonna skip this step, but if I would do it, I would probably do it with Render Brain while I work. So this is what we have. We have the no noise and it sits inside the key and inside the main comp. So I'm gonna go inside again just to show you where we are. I'm gonna take the no noise layer and I'm gonna place a Keylight effect on it. And I'm gonna sample the green and I'm gonna go to screen matte. Don't have to, but I can see that a lot of places are white, black, which is good, but a lot of gray areas. So I want to remove those gray areas, but every time we try to change the clip white, it's gonna do bad things for the edges. So I'm gonna keep the edges. I'm gonna go to intermediate result, and instead of creating more manipulations on this Keylight copy, I'm just gonna do something else, which is I'm gonna go pressing Alt key to the alpha channel from here. Instead of going here, I'll click. That's a nice trick. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna duplicate this layer again, and I'm gonna see the alpha. And the alpha, if I'm gonna turn it off, I can see the edges are pushed outward just a little bit, and that's enough to make this key look bad. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna solo this layer. So I'm gonna go to the screen matte, and I'm gonna take up the clip black to 10 to remove all these weird places, all these semi-transparent areas, and I'm gonna take the clip white to 80. And I'm gonna do this again. Now I'm gonna go down to 70 until everything or almost everything will be white. I think I'm gonna stop here, and if I'm gonna go out, I can see the edges look pretty bad. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna turn it back a bit, but not gonna change this clip white again. I'm just gonna roll back the clip. So this is like a simple choker. I'm gonna make it go inside more and more. Let's say -20. Just to have all these areas that are 100% opaque. So if I'm gonna look at the alpha channel, you can see the hard edges. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create a screen softness of approximately the same value. So now I have really, really good edges and also really, really good areas over here. But I'm gonna create solid. I'm gonna make it a bit larger. I'm gonna turn it off. And I'm gonna take the pen tool. I'm gonna create an area over here. And it's gonna be like this. So everything here is white again. I'm gonna feather it out just like it by 5 pixels. And it doesn't move as the shot. So I'm gonna go to our main comp. I'm gonna copy the tracking data and I'm gonna go inside to the to the alpha layer. I'm gonna paste it and parent it on the first frame to the tracking data. I'm gonna turn it off. And this is what I have now. Looks weird, but I remind you that the alpha looks really good. So I'm gonna go back to the key and I have this layer, which is the alpha layer, and I have this original plate layer. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the alpha from this layer. And now I have this, which is kind of cool. So you ask me, why don't you use the Keylight directly on this layer? Because Keylight has a side effect of creating grain, unwanted grain, and I want to keep the regular grain. So I removed all the grain to have the best Keylight result I can have, and it created a lot of weird noises and things, but the alpha looks really good. So I'm gonna take the original layer with the original noise and use this alpha as a noise. And I can see, and if this doesn't interrupt me yet, I can see that maybe it feathered too much, so I can go inside and change it, but I'm gonna keep it as this to see if it works when we go outside. So the only thing that will bother me now is that everything is green. So I'm gonna go inside the key layer and I'm gonna place on the plate layer a spill suppressor effect. And that's it. So I'm gonna go back and now everything is starting to look really, really good. So let's continue. I want to connect the BG layer to the tracking data. And now I can see that it moves like it's supposed to move. So I'm gonna go inside and I'm gonna turn on the motion blur effect. And that looks pretty good. But there is something bothers me here, is that I see all these edges that are still in the frame. So I'm gonna tackle that in a few moments. But now let's concentrate on the BG. So this is the BG and this is how it looks. So I just want to move it a bit because it's a bit boring this way and I'm not sure it's correct. So I want to see just the edges of the road and I want to see these lights go through him. So it's a little bit of a sideway. So I think this is good enough. And now let's make it connect better with the car. So I'm going to create a new solid and I'm going to call it as dirt. I'm going to create a fractal noise effect. Place it on the dirt. And I'm going to create the windshield dirt. So I'm going to scale it down just a little bit. And I think I'm going to duplicate this. And I'm going to change the blending mode to multiply. And I'm going to scale it up just a bit until it looks more random. So I'm going to go to the transform and scale it up. I think this starts to look pretty good. And all of this will be on screen. So I'm going to reduce the amount, and I think this is a fair amount of dust. But two things. First of all, if you look at this kind of dirt at night, you can see that you can only see it on the areas that has lights around them. So it's supposed to be this area. So I'm gonna do that again, but before that, I needed to move as the car. So this is a pretty easy fix. I'm gonna connect it to the tracking data and I have this. And just some motion blur and voila. Okay, so now all I need to do is to create an alpha layer for this. So I'm gonna duplicate the BG layer and I'm gonna solo it so this color correction will not interfere with what I see on the screen. And I'm gonna use the levels effect. And I'm gonna crush the blacks and crush the bright area. Maybe crush just a bit. And I'm gonna blur this. I'm gonna take fast blur, the easiest way to do a blur. And I'm gonna take the dirt effect and I'm gonna tell it to take the alpha from this screen. But this is not an alpha data, this is brightness data. So I want to take the luminosity. And now I can see that I can see the grain only on these areas. So I get this amazing effect of the light going through the dust that is stuck on the windshield. So I think this looks pretty good, so I'm gonna leave it as this. I can take it a few steps forward, but maybe on another tutorial. So what I want to do now is to get rid of all of these ugly edges. So for that, I'm going to take the key layer, this one, and I'm going to use remove color matting. Yeah, so I'm going to place it over here. And what this does, it goes to the edges and it reduces the amount of color that is over here. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna take it until everything looks darker. So this doesn't look good yet, but when I'm gonna reduce the opacity of this effect, I'm gonna get something better. So I'm gonna go to the effects, I'm gonna press E, go to the compositing option, and I'm gonna start to go down with the opacity of the effect. So I'm gonna show you before and after. You can see that you can barely see those edges. So we're pretty close to say, okay, this is good enough, but I have another trick in my sleeve, actually two of them, but next week I'm gonna show you another green screen, so I'm gonna leave it to there. So I'm gonna create a new adjustment layer. I'm gonna call this glow. What I wanna do with this layer is to create a levels effect that will help me to create only in bright areas. So again, I'm not gonna turn off this. Yeah, I'm gonna turn off the color correction. I'm gonna crush the blacks until I can only see the dots of light. So this is okay. And I'm gonna burn it up like this. And I'm gonna fast blur it. And it's not big enough. So I'm gonna duplicate again the levels and the fast blur effect and place them below in the effect stacks. I'm gonna reset this and I'm gonna make them a lot bigger. And again, I'm gonna blur them. So this area I don't really want to, only also this area. So maybe I can crush the blacks even a little bit more, but eventually I will need to create a mask for this. But first of all, let's create a screen blending mode. And obviously this is too strong. So what I'm gonna do, and I don't like this one, so maybe I'm gonna crush it even more. Okay, so this looks pretty good. So this, especially this area. And I can see that I have this glow that enters the car, but it's too strong. So I'm gonna reduce the opacity of this layer to 50%. And now I can see that they breathe in the same air, which is pretty cool. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a mask around this area. I'm gonna feather it out. So the glow will be only in this area and will not include this blue area and also this one. And the last thing I want to do is maybe correct the color of this layer and change its sharpness to something a bit more blurry, because it's in the distance, so it's supposed to be a little blurry, a little out of focus. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create an adjustment layer, I think above the beachy layer, and I'm gonna create a curves effect. And I'm gonna go to the red and I'm gonna reduce the amount of red just a little bit like this, and a little bit of blue like this blue over here. And I think we're getting closer. Yeah, we are getting closer. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to create a lens blur effect, and it's gonna be like, let's try 20 and make it round. And this curves effect is too much, so I'm gonna go and I'm gonna reduce the opacity of the effect to 20%, to 50%. Okay. Before, after, it's a little bit more cold, which is a good thing. And now I want to look at this light there, too dull. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to the gain and turn it up to 100, and also the saturation. And I'm going to reduce the threshold so it will include these areas as well. Okay. Looking good. Okay, in the moment that this area joins, I don't want it anymore. So I think this is good enough. So we have this bright light. Maybe it's a bit too bright, but I like it. I like it. Maybe reduce the gain to 50 or to 20, but it needs to be there. I think I'm pretty happy with the result. Okay, so now I need to do this for 20 more shots. So here's the secret. I just duplicate it. And I mean by duplicating it. So let's take this and place it over here in the timeline. Right over here. So I have this layer and I want to use the same technique I use, but it takes a lot of time. So here's the secret. I'm gonna use True Layer Duplicator to duplicate this. If you don't know True Layer Duplicator, it's the same as True Comp Duplicator, but for the timeline. You can use it in a shortcut, and you can see the link for True Layer Duplicator below. It's free, and the Pro, which does not include this window, that's the only thing that goes off on the Pro, so it doesn't really matter. So once I use it, I can move it over here, and let's place the shots the next from the second shots over here, so they'll be ready. And what I'm gonna do is, first of all, I'm going to change the name of this composition. Let's go to reveal. Perfect. And now I'm going to take this layer, this is BG. I'm going to go inside. I'm going to place it right over here. So now I need to create a composition and all the composition connected to this composition to have the same length. So it's a lot of work, right? No. All I need to do is to shorten up this composition. I'm going to check the amount of keyframes. I'm going to actually copy it. And another secret ingredient or script, VA Precomp time. It's another script from my site. It's a free script. Download link is below. I'm going to change it to frames and I'm going to paste the value and press go. And all compositions and sub-compositions will change to 30 to 25 frames for 25 frames. So I'm going to take this green, I'm going to cut it, go inside, I'm going to go to the key, to the plate. The original plate is here, and I'm just going to paste it. And now I have a few minor things to change. All the structure is really here. So I just need to change a few little things like the location of the BG. I'm gonna move it right over here like this. And I have the glow layer that works. Maybe I need to change the mask of it. I'm gonna make it be over here. So now I have this glow. And of course I need to go and to change the track. So, but that's approximately it. Maybe go to the key and to make this solid go a little bit lower. But eventually I will have less things to do. I'm gonna do them really, really fast because I'm gonna use this base structure for this scene. So for every ride scene with a green screen, I create like a master layer. I'm gonna try to make everything really organized, and the name conventions should be really, really helpful. And then when I'm gonna duplicate it with True Layer Duplicator, it's gonna be easy for me to make those subtle changes for them to fit this shot. And from time to time, you have angles that repeats itself. So it's really, really easy. You just change the plates and background and change the tracking, and that's it. And sometimes you don't even have tracking, so you have even less work on that. So I hope you enjoy this tip, and I hope you enjoyed the last episode of Tehran, and I'm gonna see you next week.